I'm talking to Noel Gallagher. Noel, Manchester City. Got to talk a bit about football. I mean, I know it's hard for you having like the best team.
Yeah,
this was ever. I mean, what a turnaround, isn't it, from when you first supported Man City and in the mid-90s? But here you are now, one of the best teams on the planet.
Yeah, well, today is a pivotal day, actually, because I'm bringing my... we're going to Spurs this afternoon, but I'm bringing my 10-year-old, and we're going on the terraces today, right?
Wow.
And I said to him, mate, you are going to hear some swear words today, right, that you never even knew existed. Some of it can be Shakespearean, some of it can be from the locker room, but I'm telling you, it's going to be an experience. And he was like, can't wait. Can't wait.
I'll bet.
Yes, we always make up, no matter how busy I am, always keep the first day of the season free and the last day of the season free. So I'm looking forward to today, and he's looking forward to seeing Grealish play. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
And it should be good. But watching Match of the Day last night, everybody, all the big teams turned up over the weekend. So would you withdraw this afternoon?
That's the way the world works. Obviously, you've mentioned Grealish. Harry Kane. Do you think he's coming? Would you want him to come? Would you like him to come?
I think I'd speak for most City fans now when I'd say I'd rather the club wait for Haaland. Now, unless something's gone on behind the scenes with Haaland, let's talk about Bayern Munich now. But we need a striker, that's for sure. But if we couldn't get Haaland, can we get Kane? Yes. And why do I say that? Because I say that to all my mates. Because it's not our money. Why are we mad about 150 million? It's not my money. It's not your money. It's the Sheikh's money. And he got loads of money. So let's spend it.
That's a good point. Do you think...
Buy him because we can.
And everyone was saying, yeah, but you only get 2 good years. Like, well, then buy someone else after that. What's the problem?
It's literally true. Today's going to be weird, isn't it? Because he could be running out there, couldn't he? And so Pep's going to be needing to make some kind of point, as you say, Noel. Not least of which is everybody else has already planted their flag in the ground over the weekend. So you need to have a good one today, don't you?
I mean, we need to win because you don't want to fall. I was saying that last season, none of us thought City were going to win the league at Christmas, but you don't want to fall six points behind. Liverpool looked good yesterday. I can't believe everybody's writing off Liverpool and saying, it's either City or Chelsea and Liverpool fighting for fourth with United. I'm looking at Liverpool last night thinking, they're dynamite still, So it's going to be a tough season, but yeah, we could do with getting off with a win. But to get back to the point, I kind of feel like 120 million might do it for Kane.
Okay. Would you personally like to see? Would you like him to come?
Well, I put it all. I want my team to be the best team in the world. If he comes, guarantees us we're going to be there on the last day of the season, there or thereabouts. And there's no arguing with it. And Lukaku does the same for Chelsea. And I think, we need a striker. If we can't get Haaland, we might as well get Harry Kane. He's the best British striker that there has been for the last 10 years.
Yeah, I agree with that. Actually,
good point.
And Grealish, and you got Grealish. You excited about seeing him, Noel?
Well, I wouldn't say up until the rumours of the sign. I wouldn't say I was a massive, huge fan. He played for Villa, and Villa fan, not really interested in Villa. But I tell you what I noticed when he signed, you kind of go on YouTube and have a look, and I wouldn't be surprised if he plays him in a false 9 because he's a brilliant striker of the ball from the edge of the area. He doesn't kind of lash at it. You know what I mean? You see him coming onto balls at the end, and he's like stroking them in the far corner. So I think he's a great player, and I think he gives us something that we don't have. But I think when listening to the pundits and they're saying, "Oh, but what impact is he going to have on City?" And I like to flip that on its head and say, well, what impact is City going to have on him?
Yeah.
He's now working with the Jedi Master in training. I can imagine him with his little socks rolled on his ankle, scratching his head, thinking, "What is he going on about?" And then, like all the English players that I've met from City, they all say that. They say for the first couple of months, Pep might as well be talking Chinese, and then once the penny drops, it's like you're into a different world of football. So the impact that Pep's going to have on him is going to be staggering. Because he turned Sterling in from a quite erratic hit and miss kind of winger into this 30 goals a season machine. So it's going to be fascinating to watch, I've got to say.
And what I was excited about is the fact that even as you say, though, the Sheikh can throw as much money as he wants and can continue to do so. But you saw Grealish come on at Wembley last week in the Charity Shield, and you just got this enthusiasm from the Man City supporters about the new kid that they brought into the side. And he's a lad from down the road. Yeah. So, he's not particularly glamorous in that sense. So getting back inside the ground's obviously going to be great fun, isn't it? It's a good stadium to go to for your first game as well, Tottenham's.
Yeah. I mean, I went to Tottenham in the Champions League. It's an amazing stadium. My God. And Tottenham, they've been a bit of a bogey team for us down the years. But Kane's not playing, and he always scores against us. So, but it'll be a great day today, and hopefully we'll get a win. And it'll be interesting to see. Well, we've got such a strong squad. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I'm looking. You're looking at the lineups of the teams last night, and actually, when it boils down to it, the title is won from the bench, I think, because Chelsea's first 11 and Liverpool's first 11 and United's first 11, there's not that much between them. But you look at the benches, and City's is just ridiculous, and nobody else's is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Ours is just. I mean, the resting players. He can make 6 changes a game, and still have 400 million on the pitch or something. You know what I mean? So. I think it's going to be an exciting one this season, but I think it'll be won from the bench. But bring it on. We've got the pressure's off really because we won it last season. We just got to take that next step in the Champions League, which was a dreadful night. Bring it on.
I was going to ask you about that now, the Champions League. I know it's become almost like the holy grail really for City to win, but is that where you think, with somebody like Grealish and maybe Kane, is that where you finally land it?
Well, Kane for sure. But that night, let me tell you a funny story about that night. So as soon as the team sheet comes out, I was just like, what is it? What? Why? How has he not started Sterling in the last 12 games but starting him tonight? Anyway, so, they go 1-up and it was like, right, well, that's that. So as the game finishes, kind of, stomp out of the ground in a huff, right? Who's the first person I meet outside the ground? The first person.
Oh, it's not a Chelsea fan, is it? It wouldn't be Damon.
Oh, it's a Chelsea fan, yes.
Damon Albarn, something like that?
Damon Albarn.
No!
Who goes to one Chelsea game every 10 years, right? So the last game he'd been to was probably the last Champions League final they won, right? And he's like, all right, mate. And I'm like, of all the people. And I was like, oh, well done, well done, mate. And he's like, oh, never mind, you win it one day. And I was like, I swear to God.
So let me get. So you didn't see him at Nebworth.
No, yeah. And as he's kind of, consoling me, I'm like, hang on a minute. Aren't your team just lifting the trophy? Like now in about 10. What are you doing outside the ground? He's like, oh, I've got to get off early. And I was like, well, I just about summed you.
And at the end of the day, Noel, you'll always have What a Story, Morning Glory, and you'll always have The Great Escape. That's always you get the jail card.
But then he said, yeah, well, I've seen him lift it before, so.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, the badinage.
Oh, okay. I phoned up my manager and said we should re-release Roll With It.
Oh, brilliant. Noel, enjoy this afternoon, pal. Have a great time with your boy there.
Yes, will do. Good luck. See you later.
Thanks, Noel. Cheers, buddy. Ta-ra, man. What a lad. Of all the people to bump into, the lead singer of Blur.
Rock star bump that is, isn't it?
Fantastic.